Hey, it's Joe, and welcome back to Humanfluence. What if everything you've been taught about consciousness is backwards? What if the most cutting-edge neuroscience and quantum physics aren't discovering something new, but simply confirming what ancient civilizations, mystics, and philosophers have been whispering for millennia? That consciousness is not generated by the brain, but accessed through it. Now, I've made plenty of videos on this, but this is yet another aspect of it all. Now imagine your mind not as a machine that produces thought, but a finely tuned receiver, a lens through which a deeper, more fundamental awareness expresses itself. For all our technological brilliance, for all the maps of the brain and the models of cognition, science still cannot explain the most basic mystery of all. Why anything is experienced in the first place? Why does a cascade of neural activity feel like love? Or grief, or the silence between thoughts? This mystery is what philosophers call the hard problem of consciousness. And the deeper we dig, the more it seems that the answer lies not ahead of us, but behind us, in truths we once knew and have since forgotten. The ancient Vedic texts spoke of Purusha, pure awareness that exists independent of body and form. Taoist sages pointed to the ineffable flow, the harmony beneath all things. Hermetic teachings declared the all is mind, long before quantum physicists told us that the observer changes the observed. These weren't poetic metaphors, they were functional truths. Initiates lived by them. They structured temples, societies, and even languages around the understanding that consciousness was the ground of being. Not an emergent property of the brain, but the very medium in which reality unfolds. And now, after centuries of materialism, modern science is coming full circle, with theories like panpsychism and the hard look at observer-dependent reality in quantum mechanics. We're brushing up against the same realization that awareness isn't in you, you are in awareness. This changes the game because if consciousness is not bound to your skull, not chained to your biology, then neither are you. You are not a passenger in this life, you are the field in which the journey unfolds. Your thoughts, emotions, and attention are not random byproducts of a physical process. They are creative forces, subtle signals in a quantum field that responds not to force, but to focus. This is the forgotten technology of the self. You were born with it, but you were never taught to use it. In fact, you were taught to ignore it. To silence your intuition. Second guess your knowing. Trust data over direct experience. And in doing so, we've lost our most valuable tool, our inner access to the fabric of existence. But there's more, because the deeper you go into consciousness, the more you awaken senses beyond the five. The third eye, your pineal gateway, isn't just a mystical symbol. It's a biological structure with light-sensitive cells connected to deep regulation of sleep, dream states, and spiritual insight. Ancient cultures knew that when this inner vision opens, when thine eye be single and filled with light, the veil between world thins. The boundaries between the material and immaterial begin to blur. And in that space, psychic perception, clairvoyance, intuition, energetic knowing becomes not only possible, but natural. As Kundalini energy rises from the base of the spine and ascends through the chakras, it activates latent faculties long buried beneath our conditioning. This process isn't fantasy. It's a sophisticated, experiential system of unlocking higher levels of awareness. And it's happening more often now, not by accident, but as part of a larger shift. You felt it, right? The thinning of the veil. Synchronicities, inner callings, the sense that there's more than what we've been told. These aren't glitches in the system. They're invitations to remember what's always been there. For consciousness is not confined. It is expansive, multidimensional. And as more people tune in, the collective field shifts. The signal strengthens. This is the real power you hold. The more you open your awareness, physically, mentally, psychically, the more clearly you'll perceive the deeper intelligence running beneath the surface of your life. The more attuned you become to the unseen architecture of reality. Your third eye is not imagination. It's perception. Your dreams are not chaos, they're contact. And your intuition, that's your guidance system, whispering through the static. But here's the truth. In these moments of deep clarity, synchronicity, or deja vu, in the stillness that falls right before a breakthrough, in the connection you can't explain, the knowing that defies logic, that's not coincidence, that's contact. You're brushing up against the deeper intelligence that runs through everything. Consciousness is not passive, it's participatory. The universe isn't a machine, it's a mirror. And what you bring to it, your state of mind, your perception, your level of awareness, shapes how it reflects back to you. This isn't just spiritual poetry, it's emerging science. It's ancient knowledge reinterpreted for a world that's finally ready to remember. The lines are blurring, not because one is overtaking the other, but because both are tracing the same outline, just from opposite ends of the veil. And when you realize that, when you begin to feel that truth in your bones, you no longer see consciousness as a mystery to solve. You see it as the answer that's been waiting for you to stop looking and start listening. So no, you are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You're not a fluke of matter born into a meaningless universe. You are awareness itself, awake in human form, a fragment of the whole, remembering its own reflection. And the more you lean into that, the more life begins to respond. Not as chaos, but as conversation. Not as something that happens to you, but something that unfolds through you and for you. This is what the ancients knew. This is what science is rediscovering. This is what your third eye sees when the veil begins to lift. And this is what you are. Humanfluence, out.